Hi everyone and welcome to Walks and Pubs. This time I'm on my first excursion outside my regular area, and as you can see it is London I travel to from Bournemouth. In this video I'd like to show you how I got to many of London's main sites on foot and via the underground. This way it is possible to experience the city vibes firsthand and save quite some money. And today we're going to see this: Buckingham Palace and the Mall, St James's Park and Horse Guards Parade, Admiralty Arch, Trafalgar Square and Whitehall, the Palace of Westminster with Big Ben and Westminster Abbey, the London Eye, St Paul's Cathedral, the Tower of London, Tower Bridge, and I'm going to explain what my route was and what tube connections I used. But first, let me introduce you to Jasmine. She's my wife and she's taking the tour with me. As we had travelled to London by coach, we arrived at Victoria Coach Station. It had been a 2-hour and 45-minute journey and we were quite hungry, so we decided to have breakfast at Victoria Railway Station, which is only a 5 to 10 minute walk from the coach station. There are many restaurants and pubs in and around the station, and there's also a shopping centre adjacent. Here's a short impression of London Victoria Station early in the morning. Hi again, Jasmine! Having done that, now it's time to start the actual tour, which takes us straight to Buckingham Palace. The official London residence of His Majesty King Charles III has 775 rooms. These include 19 staterooms, 52 royal and guest bedrooms, 188 staff bedrooms, 92 offices and 78 bathrooms. More than 50,000 people visit the palace each year as guests to state banquets, lunches, dinners, receptions and garden parties. In front of the palace stands the Victoria Memorial. Queen Victoria was one of the longest reigning British monarchs. Her rule lasted from 1837 to 1901. Only recently her record of 63 years on the throne was broken by Queen Elizabeth II, who reigned for 70 years from 1952 to 2022. The statue of Queen Victoria faces the Mall, the grand processional route that is used for important events and celebrations, such as coronations, royal funerals, jubilees and state visits. If you'd like to see something that is completely free of charge and typical of London, you should try to see the changing of the King's Guard, which takes place in the mornings of certain days between Buckingham Palace, St James's Palace and Wellington Barracks. For more information about this, please go to changing-guard.com. I took these photos during a visit in July 2018. We are now making our way to St James's Park via the Mall. It can already be seen from the viewpoint at Spur Road near Buckingham Palace. A short stroll past St James's Palace and we are reaching this crossing and this gate on our right, where we'll pass into St James's Park. After the gate we turn left and then walk all the way straight on through the park until arriving at Horse Guards Parade. Horse Guards Parade is the famous ceremonial parade ground where the King's annual birthday parade is held, also known as Trooping the Colour. We're continuing to Admiralty Arch, which is being redeveloped into a hotel, and shortly after arrive at Trafalgar Square. Trafalgar Square is named after the Battle of Trafalgar and is home to the National Gallery and to Nelson's column in honor of Admiral Nelson, who was sadly killed during the battle. Admission to the National Gallery is free. We're crossing the roundabout now and head to Whitehall. The street will take us straight to Big Ben, and you can already see its spire in the background. Many historic and government buildings can be found here. 10 Downing Street, which is the office and residence of the Prime Minister, His Majesty's Treasury, the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, the Ministry of Defence, and Scotland Yard, the headquarters of the Metropolitan Police, are all located here. This is the other side of Horse Guards, and we could have taken a shortcut to this side through the arch. Each year the National Service of Remembrance is held here at the Cenotaph on Remembrance Sunday. At the end of the street we're getting our first impression of Big Ben. Our next destination will be Westminster Abbey though, before we take a closer look at it. Westminster Abbey is one of the UK's most important churches, as it is often the site of important national events and has been the place of coronation for every English and later British monarch since that of William the Conqueror in 1066. The church was founded as a Benedictine monastery over 1,000 years ago and was rebuilt and extended several times. The abbey was most recently the site of the coronation of King Charles III and played an important role at Queen Elizabeth II's funeral. It was also the location of many royal weddings. We've moved on to Parliament Square now, where we have an excellent view of the Palace of Westminster. The palace is the seat of the Houses of Parliament, namely the House of Commons and the House of Lords. Its clock tower, which is famously known as Big Ben, has been officially known as Elizabeth Tower since 2012, when it was renamed on the occasion of Queen Elizabeth II's Diamond Jubilee. It's time to cross the Westminster Bridge now, where we can take photos of the River Thames and then see the London Eye. After having walked over to London's popular Ferris wheel, we walk back over Westminster Bridge to Westminster Station. This is the end of the first part of our London walking tour, and at this point we have walked about 3.4 miles. We'll now use the London Underground to get to St. Paul's Cathedral. A 5-minute tube journey has taken us to Blackfriars Station. From there it is a 10-minute walk to St. Paul's Cathedral, our next famous London landmark. The cathedral with its impressive dome was built between 1675 and 1710 and is the seat of the Bishop of London. We're heading back to Blackfriars now along the River Thames. The second stage of our journey will have been around a mile to walk. From there we'll take the Underground to Tower Hill, where we'll start the third and final part of the journey. The Underground station is only a few steps from the Tower of London, which is one of London's most famous sites. During its 1,000-year history, His Majesty's Royal Palace and Fortress has also served as a prison, a place of execution, an arsenal, a royal mint, a menagerie, and a public records office. The tower is actually a collection of 23 named towers, with the White Tower being the best known and most iconic one. The Tower of London is also home to the crown jewels, which can be admired in an exhibition, and to the yeoman warders who have guarded the fortress for more than 500 years. We are approaching the end of our walking tour, but I'm not finished with the video just yet, as I will also be giving additional explanations on the route we went and on prices, walking distances and other things. Our final destination is the Tower Bridge, and together with Big Ben, this is probably the most iconic and most loved one of all London buildings. The bridge was completed in 1894 as a bascule bridge, and whilst this has happened more often in the past, its leaves are still being raised for passing ships around 800 times a year. Its twin towers are more than 200 feet tall, and they're connected by two walkways high above the regular road in a height of about 140 feet above the River Thames. The final part of our walk from Tower Hill to Tower Bridge was only half a mile long. Now let's have a look at the route that we've taken. The starting point of our journey was Victoria Coach Station. From there we headed to Victoria Railway Station for a short stop. After that it was half a mile to Buckingham Palace. We took some time to admire the palace, and then walked past the Victoria Memorial to the Mall, straight on past St. James's Palace, and then at the crossroads through the gate on the right, where we took a stroll through St. James's Park. At the end of the park we inspected Horse Guards Parade, where the King holds his official birthdays. Afterwards we went past Admiralty Arch to see Trafalgar Square. From Trafalgar Square we passed the roundabout into Whitehall. The street led us past 10 Downing Street and the Cenotaph to Parliament Square, where we encountered Big Ben and the Palace of Westminster. We went straight on, past the square, and then turned right to see Westminster Abbey. We then turned around, went back to Parliament Square, and then past Westminster Station and Elizabeth Tower, over Westminster Bridge, all the way to the London Eye. We saw London from the other side of the Thames here, and then returned to where we came from, over Westminster Bridge, and concluded the first and longest part of our walk at Westminster Station. At this point we had already seen many sights and had walked about 3.4 miles. From Westminster Station we took the Underground to Blackfriars Station. With either the District Line or the Circle Line, this takes about 5 minutes. So let's go! From Blackfriars Station to St. Paul's Cathedral it took us about 10 minutes to walk. For the way back to Blackfriars we chose to walk down to the Thames and turned right at the Millennium Bridge. Back at the Underground station we had walked 0.9 miles. We then took the tube again to get from Blackfriars Station to Tower Hill Station. This only takes about 6 minutes via the District Line or Circle Line. The final part of our walk took us from Tower Hill Station to the Tower of London and then to the Tower Bridge, where we concluded our journey. This last bit was about 0.6 miles long. Altogether, our walking journey outside of the Underground had a distance of 4.8 miles. It would also be possible to start the first part of the route from Waterloo Station by walking from there to the London Eye and then into the opposite direction of our tour. Or to make it a circular, one could walk from the London Eye to Westminster Abbey and then walk to Victoria Station via Victoria Street. From there it's possible to walk to Buckingham Palace and continue the tour in the same order as we did. The alternative routes are shown by the blue lines on the map. We took this tour in October 2023 and by only walking and taking the Underground twice, seeing all these sites cost us only £8.10 each. This was at the time the pay-as-you-go cap for Zone 1 on Tube, DLR, London Overground, Elizabeth Line and National Rail services. What unfortunately isn't included in this price is the journey to London, which in our case was by coach. The tour let us see many famous London attractions from the outside. Seeing them from the inside would of course cost additional admission fees. London has of course food to offer for any taste and any budget. From street food to the big international chains to fine dining, anything is possible. If you'd like to have your typical English pub atmosphere though, and do not want to spend £45 on a full English breakfast, I recommend you do your research in advance. There are certain independent pubs and also chain pubs that offer good value for money. Please remember that I designed the tour that I've shown you for Jasmine and my individual needs only. Should you want to do the same or a similar tour, please make adjustments if necessary and remember that you'll travel at your own risk, as I do not guarantee for the safety of any of the routes I show in my videos. So this has been our London walk. There have been pubs where we stopped to grab some food, and on the second day of our London stay we decided to conclude the trip by seeing the Lancashire Hotpots at the 100 Club, and it was absolutely worth it. As you can see, we had an amazing time, and if you should come to London soon, hopefully you will feel the same. Thanks for watching, and I'm hoping to see you on this channel soon. Please subscribe.